Hey YouTube, welcome to another episode of News in 2 Minutes, bringing you the news that you need to know every day. Let's begin. The Egyptian government has ordered police to end protests by the Muslim Brotherhood, calling them national security threats and saying that the police and the military will take every measure necessary to make sure that they end. The protesters, however, have changed strategy, now calling the sit-ins an anti-coup movement, a term that has been sharply avoided by Western officials due to its long-reaching consequences. The United Nations will be sending sanction investigators to Syria to determine if and when chemical weapons have been used within the country. The team is said to be interested in soil and biological samples and may be investigating whether they believe the Syrian army or the Free Syrian rebels have used the weapons. China has launched weather modification rockets in an effort to induce rain in cool areas that have experienced the highest temperatures in national history. The country has launched at least 7 rockets, each presumably loaded with silver iodide, which through a process known as hygroscopic seeding, readily takes on water by vapor deposition within the clouds. The man-made rainfall is heavily debated as being toxic, with the University of Michigan study stating that the silver contained within the rainfall is among the most toxic of heavy metal ions, especially to microorganisms and fish. The World Health Organization has issued a 9-page questionnaire aimed at tracking the MERS coronavirus. The interviews are to be conducted by supporting health officials across the world and direct physicians to question all suspected MERS-CoV cases as soon as symptoms present themselves due to the renowned speed of health declination that case patients have expressed. In related news, the CDC has updated their website to include a healthcare facility preparedness checklist for the MERS-CoV that is well worth reading, as it covers pre-pandemic topics such as ensuring quarantine measures are up to date, preparing to quickly isolate suspected cases, and being equipped to handle a large number of cases if transmission of the disease escalates. The mortality rate of the MERS coronavirus still stands at over 50% in a thankfully low number of cases, while health officials worldwide seek to answer questions about transmission and originating hosts. And to wrap things up, Japan's deputy prime minister has been forced to retract statements that he made this week, saying that Japan could learn from how Nazi Germany altered its constitution. Seasonal rains have caused widespread flooding in North Korea, leaving over 45,000 homeless. And large anti-government protests are continuing in Andhra Pradesh, where demonstrators are calling for the mass resignation of all politicians after the Indian government's decision to divide the state. And that's it for this episode of News in 2 Minutes. Check back tomorrow for more news that the aware need the most. This week's News in 2 Minutes is brought to you by shtfplan.com, where even the officials go for news, and sqmetals.com for all your precious metal needs.